Okay guys, so let's talk about my filmmaking gear, and this is basically what I use the most. And there's no real reason to do this video other than I like to show off my stuff because I feel like it. But if you guys are interested in filmmaking gear, please stick around and let's see what we're talking about here. Okay, so this is basically what I use 95% of the time. I never ever take the camera off this tripod because my kind of work, which is shooting narrative films and scenes, I usually leave the camera on sticks, and only in very rare occasions do I pick up the gimbal or anything else because first of all, calibrating or balancing the gimbal with this camera is just a little bit of a nightmare, so I avoid that. And again, for my type of work, it's not that I'm doing short films. I'm shooting mostly show reels and reels for actors. So there are small scenes that actors pay me to record and to shoot, so they have portfolio for their show reels and so on. So that's most of what I do. Of course, if I'm doing a short film or something a little more complex, I'll definitely take the camera off the tripod. But 99% of the time, I'm keeping this camera on the sticks. And this is what I use. This is basically everything I use, and it's all useful. Nothing here is for show. And I'll start off, from the right, from your left to the left, okay? So the right to the left. So this is my small rig, what's it called? Mini matte box. I used to have, and I still do have, a larger, more professional matte box, but it just added a lot of weight, and honestly, I didn't use the filters that you can fit in those matte boxes, so I decided to opt for something a little bit smaller. And the only reason I do even use the matte box is for lens flaring. Whenever I have a flare that I want to cut off, I use the wings. And because this matte box only has this little upper flag here, I've attached this little bit piece of cinefoil that you see here that I can just basically, move it down here and produce a flag on this side if I need to, and the other way around. So I have this little piece of cinefoil here, which is very useful. Cinefoil is very useful if you're into filmmaking. You should definitely grab a roll of this because it's useful for so many situations. Not just this, but so many situations in lighting. You can shape the light and do a lot of stuff with cinefoil. So it's very useful. So this is the mini matte box I really like. This is very affordable and very sturdy, and I like it a lot. It also takes in 4x4 filters. I think it's a size or something like that. I'll leave links in the description for all the gear that I'm talking about here, so I'm not going to remember every single model and maker of everything, so links in the description if you're interested in finding out more about these pieces of gear. So this is the matte box, and right here is my follow focus from DP. What's it called? DP Focus? No. I can't remember the brand name. So this is the follow focus right here. It's a very, very good follow focus. I bought this years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it's never left my camera rig. I use it all the time. And it's perfect for manually focusing, which is all I do because I'm rocking the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. And even if I wasn't, I'll be manually focusing anyway because that's how I want to work, is with manual focus. Autofocus I leave for stuff like YouTube or maybe documentary if I'm doing something of that sort. Something that's not, creatively intense like a film. So in a film, I'm always going to use manual focus because I want to be in full control of what the camera does. But anyway, this follow focus is amazing. Fotka, that's the name of the brand. Fotka DP500 Mark III. This is the brand. This is whole set. So this Fotka DP500 Mark III, they have follow focus, they have a matte box, and they have a bunch of all other accessories for your camera rig. But the follow focus has been my loyal servant for years, and I love it. And it's very smooth. You can switch sides if you want. If I'm operating from this side, you can switch sides and do all the good stuff. So that's really good follow focus. I recommend it. Again, links in the description. On the base of that, we have a bunch of small rig stuff. So these rails, these 15mm rod rails. I've got this lens thingy here to hold the lens. Not really that this lens needs it, but I've got it here in case I'm mounting a different lens. And the black, and also the small rig cage, which is covering my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, which is just, it's small rig. Small rig has become one of the most reliable brands in terms of rigging your camera and your setup. So small rig for the win, definitely. Up here, I've got my newest acquisition. This is a monitor. I used to have another older monitor, but sadly it malfunctioned and broke. So I bought this new 5-inch from Viltrox. It's the 550 DC 550 Lite. There are two other versions of this monitor. The other versions have 1500 nits, I think it is, or 1200 nits brightness. This only has like 500 or 600 nits. But again, for what I do, I'm 90% of the time indoors. I do not need a very bright monitor, so I just opted for the cheaper version, which is the Lite, and it serves me well. It's a really decent monitor. As you can see here, it kind of opens up like this, and you can just close it up. It has this little sun hood installed. You can remove that if you want, but I leave it on because it's kind of protecting the monitor, and I like it. It's a very recent acquisition. I like it very much. Image quality of this monitor is amazing. It does what I need it to do. I don't really want that much from monitors. I'm just gonna put this down so it doesn't cover my face all that much. All I want from a monitor is decent focus peaking and waveform, and this has both. That's all I need. That's why another reason I went for the cheaper version, because I don't need all those bells and whistles, because the 6K puts out focus peaking. It puts out whatever I need it to put out. So I really don't need a monitor with all those fancy stuff. So little 5-incher. I might get a 7-inch monitor, but for now it's working for me. So there it is. On top of the 6K, I've got a Samsung T5 portable SSD, which I use to record media into. So one SSD works fine for me. I have a backup, obviously, but usually this one has been very, very reliable. Both of them, actually. I've had them both since 2019, so there you go. Whenever I purchased the 6K, that's when I got those SSDs. And here we have, this is a power bank. Don't mind, that's to power the recorder. These are the industry standard Sony dynamic stereo headphones, MDR 7506. These are for monitoring audio. I use them, and I have them connected to my, let me see if you can see this, to my Zoom H8. My Zoom H8, which I also purchased about a year ago, maybe less. I used to have a Zoom F8N, but that was a bit overkill for what I worked with, so I decided to sell that and get something a little more affordable and compact. So I got the Zoom H8 because I need at least 3 XLR inputs, because I sometimes use lav mics and a shotgun mic, so 2 lav mics and a shotgun, and this is perfect for that. I can adjust the inputs right here as I'm recording, and I leave it here on this rig, on this tripod, because when I'm recording, I am able to just be monitoring my shot, and I can just easily reach the recorder and control the audio and do focus. And yeah, it's a one-man band dream or nightmare, depending on how you look at it. And I have a little V-mount battery here. This is a generic brand, Max Oak. This is a very reliable V-mount battery. I've had it for more than 5 years. I had it since the days of my GH5 and before that, so it has been working ever since. It's a really powerful and reliable and robust V-mount battery. I also have a generic V-mount battery plate here, which is attaching the battery, and it connects to the camera, obviously. And to power the Zoom H, I use this little power bank here, which is not really attached. I'm going to find a way of attaching this to the rig, because right now it's just kind of hanging in there. Oh, and I also have this little Sony NPF battery plate here, which is my backup. If my V-mount battery fails for any reason, I just can connect this battery plate to the camera and use a normal NPF Sony battery to power the camera. Anyway, this power bank is used to power the Zoom H8. If the batteries run out, I also have batteries in them, but I have to recharge them, so I don't use the batteries all that often because it takes hours to recharge. So I'm better off using the power bank. I just have to go to figure out how to mount this this power bank to the rig. And lastly, I think I've covered almost everything. Lastly, I want to talk about the 18-35, the Sigma 18-35 art lens. I've spoken about this lens on this channel before. I can't say enough good things about this lens. This lens basically lives in my camera. I very rarely take it out on my shoots because it's so versatile. I can use it as a wide shot. I can use it as a close-up. It's just an amazing lens. It was the best purchase I ever made gear-wise because it's just, I constantly use this lens. It lives in my camera. It is spectacularly good. The image quality is amazing. I bought this focus ring from Focus Gears, I think it's called, a website which sells rings that you can attach to your lens, so you have, so you can pull focus manually with a follow focus and so on. So yeah, this lens is just, I mean, I don't even have to extend myself about this lens because there are a ton of videos talking about this lens, and it's, well, it's amazing. It's really amazing. I love it. It's sharp, it's beautiful, and I also have sometimes use it with a Pro Mist filter, which I'm not showing here, and it just produces great results. So that's the gist of my gear, guys. I just wanted to share this video. This is all I use. This is all mounted on a, I don't know if you're gonna see this, but I'll use some B-roll, mounted on a Nitrotech N8 Manfrotto head and some legs. I don't know the model too, but I'll leave in the description below. Some generic Manfrotto legs. They're very decent, sturdy. I think that's about it when it comes to this rig. And lastly, I use this microphone a lot. This is my, well, this is a Rode blimp, which is covering my microphone. This is a Sennheiser MKE 600. I love this mic. It's like an affordable version of the 416. I think it's 416, not the expensive one. The one that costs like $1,000 is like the industry standard for capturing shotgun sounds. I use this one and I like it very much. I have it on this little generic mic stand, and yeah, that's basically the gist of what I use the most. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Other than that, we're just talking about lights and stuff, but if you guys are interested, I can make another video just talking about what lights I'm using mostly on my shoots. And upcoming on this channel, also I'm starting to make some BTS videos, so I'm going to start recording and vlogging my recording sessions when I'm shooting with the actors and all that. I'm gonna do like a walkthrough of the lighting and the setup with the actors and what I'm doing with the camera and all that stuff, because that's what I want to do with this channel. I really want to talk about filmmaking and the art of filmmaking, and maybe help some people who are trying to learn and are interested in the process of the business of filmmaking. And that's it, guys. This is a really short video. I just wanted to talk about the gear because we filmmakers love to talk about gear, as you know, and this is my version of it. I'm not going to waste your time anymore. If you stuck this long, thank you very much for watching. I'm sweating for some reason. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and like if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment below if you think there's something relevant you want to say. If you want to, say that I'm terrible, you can do that also. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.